Guys, welcome back to another Star Wars figure review. Next we're going to be taking a look at one of the figures from the Black Series collection, and this is a figure that was re-released in the last year as part of the Lucasfilm 50th anniversary, and that is this character here, the main bounty hunter we see in episode 4, Greedo, the Rodian. Now before we look at him properly, we'll take a look at the packaging this one comes in. Now this is a special edition packaging again this time, a bit similar to the Qui-Gon that I gave you a look at in the summer and the Anakin they released in the Clone Wars line, with like the Obi-Wan and that, and this time it's Power of the Force 2, the 90s classic version of card back that we had. And there were three variants of the Power of the Force card backs that were released over the years. We had this orange card back that we had there, and then later on we were given a green themed card back. There was a Princess Leia figure released with the green card back. This one was released. This card back was used for, there was a Luke Skywalker and a Han Solo, as well as the Greedo pictured here. But Greedo was the only figure in the line I didn't have, so I elected to get that one, just so I could get this packaging. So it's really good to see this whole Power of the Force 2 aspect. And on the back you have the old cutting out part. You always get little info on the characters there, and then you could cut that out and keep that what you want. They just had little details on it there. I'll just try and focus on the English version there that has what you want, you know, different statuses as Greedo as bounty hunter and all that. Because of course his affiliation is freelance, though he does work for Jabba in there. And of course we do have the Lucasfilm timeline underneath there from 1971 all the way through to 2021. So there's a lot of good to look at through that, and it's just great seeing this. As I said, you get the orange one here, there's the green one which has it's a Yavin Ceremony Princess Leia that's going to be there, and I'm secretly hoping there's a Prince Shizo hiding out there that'll have the purple card back that we had for Shadows of the Empire. I did give you a look at the Shadows of the Empire figures last year as well for reviews, that because I did manage to pick those up on eBay, and I just decided they were bad packaging, so I opened them. So that's there. But it's such a good packaging to see this in 6-inch scale. Goes nicely with the Phantom Menace themed ones we got as well. I remember seeing Sitho229 in a video basically saying, please give us a figure in this style of packaging, and lo and behold, Hasbro have indeed delivered well. And there's just the picture there of Greedo on the side with the character name there. It's all classic Power of the Force. I mean, you couldn't ask for anything more with that packaging. Like, if you're just getting them for mint in box, there's a good reason for it. I've been tempted to buy either the Luke or the Han for the mint in box aspect. I'm glad to have at least one of them that I was going to open, because I didn't have because Greedo was originally released back in 2014. There was I believe there was a standard issue figure, and then there was one that was released a 2-pack with Han to show the infamous moment where the two have a little shootout in the cantina. But just looking at this to start off with, I mean, this is just something that Hasbro have gone to town on to really capture the Rodian aspect. Of course, they have gone photoreal with this. I mean, I've never actually held the original Greedo in my hands. I don't think I can give away have a look at the full, give a full comparison to it. So I'm not the kind of go through, but everything Hasbro done, like all these little antennae that he has all coming down the back of him there, and then his little horn things that he has at the top as well, and just the detail on his eyes and the ears, all of that, like all the little rough parts. Like, Hasbro clearly went all in with giving this figure what you need for it for when he is shot by Han Solo. Like, he only has a brief appearance in A New Hope where he basically tries to take Han's payment he's got for Jabba, but then Han then shoots him before he can shoot back at him, and Han shoots, and then Greedo just falls dead on the table, and then that's kind of it with him. But just the Hasbro to make figures with that aspect. I mean, I never owned a Greedo as well. Like, this is my first Greedo figure in my collection. Just everything they've done, the really long fingers here, does a great job with that, and just his other one's nicely placed out to hold his blaster in, because of course you can actually recreate the scene if you do have Han and Greedo. If you don't, you can get both the reissue ones. You can have when he comes up and just says "going somewhere solo" in his Rodian voice, and this just sticks in. I really like this figure. I've got to admit, Hasbro made the right move in releasing this one with the Power of the Force line. It did surprise me why they chose Greedo of all characters, because I thought they'd give us like maybe a reissue of Tarkin in the Power of the Force. But then again, because I didn't own a Greedo, it works for me because it gives me a reason to at least get one of them and have it one that I can open. I mean, I've considered getting the Han or the Luke to keep carded, but I'm not in a massive rush for it. This one I managed to buy off Shop Disney. So, because even though the physical stores are primarily shut down, the online account still works, and at the time of filming this review, this figure is currently in stock at Shop Disney, and if you do spend over £50, you can get a 20% off discount. This is for £50 with full price items, so you can get this, and there's also a Diamond Select Boba Fett. You could get both of these together, and that would actually work out to more than £50. You could get 20% off if you did that, but that's something you can get there on Shop Disney, where I bought this. But there's a full rundown of this figure. Of course, you do get his holster, so you can take the blaster out of his hands and place it nicely in there. It's a bit of a stiff fit, but it does go in. So if you were to have like a bounty hunter meat thing, you can have that. Go on with this. Of course, the New Hope isn't Greedo's only appearance. He of course did appear as a younger Rodian in the deleted scene from The Phantom Menace, where he calls Anakin a cheater for the pod race, and then Anakin just loses it and starts throttling him on the ground. But then of course the other Rodian, W. Wald, who's played by Warwick Davis, tells him he should watch out for himself. But then of course, you know where that leads him. And of course he does have appearances in the Clone Wars as well, where surprisingly he's speaking Galactic Basic, not his Rodian dialect, and that did confuse me a little bit as to see in there. But that was that was something weird to see. Of course, also you do get Greedo's jacket, which is primarily sort of sculpted onto the character, so you can't really take it off there, but that's another part included. And running on the articulation, you get the ball joint and hinge at the neck, as it is like a re-release figure. So you got some of the older aspects, ball hinged shoulders and elbows, ball hinged wrists, as you do have, a ball jointed torso, which is quite hard to do, ball hinged hips, swivel thighs, the old double joints at the knees, and the ball joint rocker at the ankles. It's a lot of old, as I said, a lot of old reissue material that we have here for this Greedo figure. I'm just going to get the blaster back in place on his hand. So, as I said, I'm even looking at the blaster, and as well, they've really weathered that. Like, there's a lot of the old weathering they've given to it to try and make it look screen accurate as they can. I only just sort of noticed that. They're just trying to get it to look like something from the screen, so it's got the weathering points on it as well. So you know Greedo's been doing some bounty hunter action before his encounter with Han Solo in the Cantina. And of course, I did mention with the packaging, so also come back to me as I mentioned the Cantina. There is of course the Cantina Showdown pack, which is coming as well. That's also being reissued in Power of the Force line, and that was a battle pack from the Power of the Force line that they've reissued in Black Series scale. So that basically includes Ponda Baba, Dr. Evazan, and Obi-Wan Kenobi in the old classic packaging like that. So it's basically the three of them. And of course, Ponda Baba and Dr. Evazan are of course being released separately as well, so you have the choice for which ones you want to have, but they're definitely an available option as well. Unfortunately, Dr. Evazan and Ponda Baba won't be released in this packaging, though they're getting their own version of what is now the normal for Black Series packaging with the mural on the side, so there's a bit different there. But I'm giving this figure enough praise as I can. I'm really pleased I got him, even though he never shot in the film. We never got to see him shoot at anyone in the film. There definitely is enough to see him there, like all that little detail. Anyone who just wants that set of Episode 4 figures, just aliens from the Black Series, because for quite some time I think he was one of the few alien characters we actually had in the Black Series, because they primarily just went for human characters, because we always had the basic like Luke Skywalker and all that. But we did get, I believe we got Greedo and we got Bosk, and that was like it. I mean, it was mainly humans and droids aside from that. We didn't even get to see 3PO till 2017, so that shows you how Hasbro have been with the Black Series. And to be honest, it's just how they're being now with some of this Book of Boba Fett stuff, because by the time we were recording this video, I've actually just finished watching the finale of the Book of Boba Fett, and that was just spectacular for what it was. But I don't want to give any of that away, as we'll get figures from that line coming soon. It just surprises me that Hasbro aren't releasing them until like June, because like I don't really want to go into a rant on this, just to how the fact that back when like Force Awakens, Last Jedi, and Rise of Skywalker came out, they had figures set in release before they came out, and then update figures when the movie came out. And it was the same, like when Mandalorian figures were released, when Rise of Skywalker figures dropped, and we still have yet to see that Fennec Shand. I mean, that's coming soon. But I had 2 series with her, and I was always thinking they could have released a Fennec figure within that line, but they haven't. So we'll just have to wait and see when that comes. But that should come eventually. But yeah, but coming back to Greedo, I mean, for a Rodian sculpt, it does seem basic with some of the bodysuits. I've also just noticed that the outfit he wears under the jacket is just a green and yellowy beige version of the outfit that Princess Leia wears in The Empire Strikes Back when they're on Cloud City. I've only just kind of noticed that just through looking at the figure. That never thought to occur to me until I saw this. It's a very subtle look to it. There's a few subtle differences, but it's the same sort of design that she has. So yeah, but this Greedo figure is worth having. As I said, I'll pop a link to Shop Disney where you can buy this figure for yourself. And it really is worth having for Episode 4 collection. So if you just want to create a little diorama with him in Han, you can indeed do that in the scene. Or even if you're just doing like a Mos Eisley bar, like if you're doing that, you can have him, because of course prior to being shot by Han, he's sat around the bar, because he looks at Luke and Obi-Wan when they bring R2 and 3PO in, and then R2 and 3PO get kicked out. So yeah, that's there. So yeah, Greedo, really worthy figure, worth having in a Black Series collection. Definitely. I definitely love this figure. I love this figure like really much. I'm just pleased to finally have him in the collection. I'll leave a link to where you can buy this at Shop Disney in the description below. And I also have my Facebook, Twitter and Instagram links down there. And do drop a like on this video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe, hit that notification bell when you can know when I've next uploaded a figure review. I'll see you next time.